Welcome to Counterculture Wise, a Stormcat production, with your hosts Melanie Hope and James Monis. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts, our guests, and the dog, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any of our platforms, our advertisers, or any other dog.
As you listen today, please remember, we are so much more than a podcast. All of our stories we discuss are linked in our show notes on counterculturewise.com. Visit there for commentary, guest photos and links, animations, and fun merchandise.
If you have a story idea or would like to be a guest on our show, contact us via our website. You can also follow us on Twitter, Gab, Instagram, Facebook, and all over social media where we'll post memes, cat pics, and commentary that gets us booted off on a regular basis.
If you're watching our live show, hit like and join the chat. If you're listening dead, well, you can still hit like, share, subscribe, and comment, but please stop voting Democrat. And once again, Max meows us into another Counterculture-Wise show. Welcome, 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 everybody. We have so many fun things to share with you today. I cannot wait to get into today's show. Gonna have a lot of fun today. Hello, I am Melanie, your hostess with the mostest, and to my right is my right-hand man. My best friend happens to be my husband, also my co-host and my sweet Babu, Mr. James Monet.
Babu very much. Babu very much. Why do ducks have feathers on their tails?
Okay, why?
To hide their butt quacks.
Only you would laugh at that, the butt quacks. Okay, only you. Well, folks, that is the high-quality entertainment that you expect here at Counterculture Wise. So
it's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here. Yes. Hi, vey. So, anything new in the Jimmy world over there?
Oh, I'm a crappy libertarian.
Are you now?
I'm totally a crappy libertarian.
What makes you a crappy libertarian?
I started a job with the state of Texas on Monday.
Uh-oh, you started the job with the state.
Yeah.
That is crappy libertarianism.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's Health and Human Services.
Oh, yikes.
So, all right. And, all right.
Trying to get the microphone in his face, and every time I push it up, it just goes.
just like my
So
jokes.
if you're not hearing his voice, that's why, because he has a flaccid mic stand.
Blorp, 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 bloop.
Don't know what's going on over there. Really
Droop,
need to tighten some
droop.
screws, yeah.
Droop.
Okay. Oh, Jim starts a new job on Monday. Unfortunately, he is having to partake in community transit because we do not have buses out here, and thanks to recent events, we also do not have a car.
It's like a
Yeah.
well over an hour to take
Yeah,
a
it's
25-minute drive,
It's
but that's
insane.
okay.
Well,
That's all
over
right.
an hour isn't bad. But
It gives me time to.
They're getting you there like an
to
hour
write
before,
and to
yeah.
read and yeah.
Not
and
bad.
getting on time's good.
yeah.
Probably treat myself to a latte for my first day.
A little bit of
as a
stress
treat,
there
but,
that you know we didn't really need. So, folks, if you'd like to head on over to counterculturewise.com,
Yep.
and please, for all that is for all that is holy, contribute to the We Gotta Get Our Car Fixed fund. Went to get an oil change, drove it for a day, ran great, came home. Jim went down the hill, and all heck broke loose. Oil light, engine light, knocking, pinging, stop the car. We don't know what's going on.
Like it was about to do something out of a 1920s silent comedy car.
Like
thing just blowing
yeah,
up. And
like
spark plugs shooting everywhere. And
like it was a
engine blocks falling
Hezbollah pager. It was.
Ba-doom-ts.
Chuck will talk about that.
Yes, you will.
So yeah, it ended up parked down at a convenience store, and now it is towed to a friend's place, and we just don't know what to do with it. If it's related to the oil change, we do not have any proof and we don't know because there is still oil in it. But it does seem kind of weird that less than 24 hours after an oil change, kaboom. So if anybody has any ideas, let us know. And for all that is holy, drop everything.
That over there was holy.
Hit
That
that
glass
like-
you just dropped was holy, and now it's
And now it's shattering.
Now it's shattering.
Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, do all the things. If you are listening on places where you can give us multiple star reviews, please do so. I'd like, what are you thinking? 240 billion stars, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 240 billion stars. And, if you don't like the show or we upset you in some way, just, I don't know, 5 stars. Just toss
There
us
you go.
5 stars.
There you
It'll be
go.
insulting enough. We'll feel the pinch. Also, if you have anything you'd like to say to us, head on over to counterculturewise.com and fill out the ID10T form with your complaints, and we will give it the attention it deserves. So, ladies and germs, let's head right on in to National Panda Day.
Specifically
Happy
Red
National
Panda Day.
Day. Yes, National Red Panda Day. And I guess they do belong, they are related to pandas, but they have like their own class. So we're going to learn a little bit about pandas, but we're not going to just learn a little bit about pandas. We're going to watch cute little fluffy pandas while we do it. How cute are they?
They're just very cute.
So the red panda is elusive and mysterious mammal of the biodiverse Himalayan forest. They've also been called firefox, lesser panda, and red cat bear. I'm getting this from the Red Panda Network. You can go to redpandanetwork.org, and you can contribute there. So
They
real
look like
fun
a
stuff.
fox wearing a hipster black outfit.
They're
One thing missing is a
adorbs.
black beret on their head.
They're adorbs. They're
They're
so
really,
cute.
really cute.
Yeah. So apparently they were previously in the family of raccoons and bears simultaneously, but they recently placed it in its own family, Ailuridae, a superfamily Musteladia, along with Musteladia and Procoaceae, whatever. They're in their own family. They're like mushrooms, but they have their own kingdom. They
Far
just,
out.
they take cuteness to a new range. They live in the eastern Himalayas, Nepal, India, Bhutan, Myanmar, and China. Their habitat is temperate broad-leaved forest with bamboo understories at altitudes between 2,400 and 3,900 meters. I'm sure you really cared about that.
Precise.
Yeah, very precise. And there's 2 different species. That's why they belong to 2 different things. So you've got the ones in Nepal and India, and then you've got the ones in China. Physical characteristics, adorable. Just adorable. And
Adorable.
huge.
Just
huge.
like me.
So they say they're solitary, but it seems to me that when they get friends, they play along, so they have a lot of fun. They're most active during the twilight hours and early morning and evening. And something really cute that they do is when they feel threatened, they try to make themselves really big, but all they do is make themselves really cute. So you'll see some of those at the end of this video. They do have 2 to 4, I believe they call them pups. And we can learn a little bit more about these guys at the Red Panda Network. They are an endangered species. It has, sadly, the global red panda population has declined by 50% in 20 years, and there are as few as 2,500 remaining in the wild. The number one threat is, of course, habitat loss.
Sure,
so
of course.
head on over to the redpandanetwork.org, which
Find
will
out how
have the
you
links
can help with them.
up there, and you can learn more about red pandas and donate, and let's save us some red pandas on Red Panda Day.
We had, earlier today, one of the best interviews we've ever had for our show.
Yes.
About one of the best books we've ever reviewed on the show. Let's talk about him just for a moment. We're going to have him on Wednesday, right? We're going to be
we'll be putting him up on Wednesday, and the interview went a little bit long, which is okay. And I'll
we
show
could
you
have
his.
talked another hour.
So the man's name is Dr. Josh McConkey. He is an active duty Air Force commander and colonel.
And
colonel and
doctor.
commander. He has written the best-selling award-winning book, Be the Weight Behind the Spear. And it was a great interview. We had a lovely, lovely time. Here's his book here. And
with that much accomplishment, he was very down to earth.
yeah,
Very down to earth and
yeah.
fun to talk to.
Really, really fun to talk to. Very, very sweet man. So you will enjoy this interview. You absolutely will. He was a lot of fun and gives us some information from the inside that me being a little bit black-pilled about the current situation, he actually gave me some hope about where the country is. Oh, check out those pants. Those are incredible. Those are great. He gave me some hope.
Yeah.
For
and
what's
this
coming
book,
up.
I would highly recommend it,
Yeah.
no matter what your political leanings are, because it's really not so much. Although we did talk a lot of politics because we're us.
Not a lot, but it did come up.
This is more about how we can positively impact the future, the generations growing up now, because it's easy to give up. It's easy to go to a dark place or to a place of apathy.
Yeah.
And this guy will talk you right out of it and give you ideas and inspiration.
And that's the thing, is he has ideas. He has ways to fix the country. Let's just face it. So he did run for office. He didn't win, but he's not going to give up. And the book is part of that. So we highly recommend watching our interview with him, or listening if you are listening to the podcast elsewhere. It will be, of course, on YouTube, where, who knows what they're going to do with it on YouTube, because we never know with YouTube, but also on BitChute, Rumble, our locals channel, and of course everywhere that good podcasts are available. So that is our upcoming interview. Okay, let's talk about this article I found. Well, okay, this is the Wall Street Journal, so they're supposed to be unbiased, right? And newsy.
Well, I always thought of them when I was younger. They were conservative leaning because it was a business based newspaper. But businesses are no longer conservative.
Right.
They care more about making a point and losing lots of money, and just running a business, providing the best service or product, and not paying a whole lot of attention to the social stuff. But
yeah.
This is what it is, and
it's
been coming for a while.
So I was actually expecting this article to be kind of just a factual, non-biased, interesting article. I don't know why this guy's so mad. He really looks mad. Anyways, the most surprising new gun owners are U.S. liberals. I'm not even going to pronounce this man's name, so we'll just call him Michael C. A lifelong Democrat, supports stricter gun laws and contributes to Sandy Hook Promise, a gun violence prevention nonprofit. But this summer, the liquor store clerk in Iowa City, for the first time in his life, bought a gun. Apprehension about street crime, armed right-wing extremists. Really? Really? And whatever else the world could possibly throw at us drove his decision. I would love for him to point out a single armed right-wing extremist that has ever threatened anybody, because you're not seeing it in the news. You see them talking about it, but you don't actually hear about any actual incidents.
But it's not. They're like few and far between. They're not something that's
He's
not
acting
that
like
common.
He's acting like they're out there burning down their own cities, doing smash and grabs and looting. Wait, those weren't conservatives. Anyways, he says domestic politics have grown increasingly acrimonious.
That I will agree with.
Yeah.
With Mr. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. Russian asset, I don't know.
C.
Anyways, there's his gun. It's a Springfield, like mine. American gun culture has long been dominated by conservative white men. I guess sort of true. I mean, because white men did kind of invent it, so boomstick by white people, yay us. Now, in a marked change, a burgeoning number of liberals are buying firearms, according to surveys, and fast-growing gun groups drawing minorities and progressives.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Welcome to America. It's a group of people who 5 years ago would never have considered buying a gun. An anthropology professor, Jennifer says, and she apparently is researching this particular phenomenon. Historically, it wasn't unusual for Democrats to own guns, with many more of them living in rural areas. Also, hunting was much more popular. That's what Mr. Walls is trying to say. But starting while he still wants to seize them from you. But starting in the early 90s, gun ownership among Democrats dropped significantly, increasing divisive political battles over the role of firearms in American society. Led by the Democratic Party to become an advocate for gun regulation, Republicans became the party of gun rights. Actually, the reason the Democratic Party became an advocate for gun grabbing is because they were terrified their freed slaves would come back at them. That is when gun control began. Now, today's Democrats are rediscovering guns. Researchers, gun merchants, and owners attribute the shift to factors including rising concerns about personal safety and volatile political climate. And here we go with our non-biased reporting. GOP presidential candidate and former President Donald Trump warning of, quote, potential death and destruction, end quote, that never came out of his face if he is charged with crime. So I love how they put it in quotation marks as if he said it, even though it's not a quote. Yeah. Why aren't these people being sued for libel, upright, backwards, sideways? Democrat.
I don't know.
I'm surprised they didn't use the bloodbath.
He won't even speak up during a
hoax.
debate.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, there's that. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't use the... Well, he's probably sat there going, seriously? I mean, is this even real? I wouldn't even know how to react. Listening to her tell lie after lie after lie after lie and not being fact-checked at all. And now we know that was planned.
Yeah. It was
we know for a fact that was planned.
Yep.
Democrats warning of the potential end of democracy and 2 assassination plots against Trump. The end of democracy is when you install somebody who wasn't voted for. Golly, what party has done that multiple times now? Neo-Nazi groups have recently been more active nationwide, according to the Anti-Defamation League, which is a farce in itself. Violent threats aren't limited to progressives or minorities. Conservatives and pro-gun rallies have also been targeted. Violent threats? I've been called a maggot. I've been told I should off myself. I've been told that I'm a horrible, awful, this, that, and on and on and on. And you don't see that from the other side. We'll talk about a story that when you do even just ask a question about it, they sic the FBI on you. 29% of Democrats, or those leaning Democrats, said they had a gun at home in 2022, up from a 4-decade low of 22% in 2010. In a nationally representative 2022 survey of about 3,000 people by the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions, about 11% of respondents had purchased a gun since 2020. There was a reason for that, and it had a lot to do with COVID. Mm-hmm. Let's just face it.
Right. It was...
when the government went fascist on us, a lot of people were like, okay, maybe it is time that I get my gun while I still can. Among Democratic gun buyers since 2020, more than half were first-time owners, compared with less than a quarter of Republicans, according to researchers who analyzed data. They didn't really analyze why. And then, of course, we've got, why does he look so stupid? What is he doing? He looks like he's getting ready to take a dump or something. Whoever took this picture needs to be fired from their job, not by the gun.
Thank you for clarifying.
This might be the first presidential campaign where Democratic candidates are the literal face of gun owners. Vice President and Democratic presidential, she's not really the nominee. She's just the person they put up there because she didn't get any votes. Surprised many during the September gun debate when she noted that Tim Walz and I are both gun owners.
Which means she isn't. But anyway.
I press X to doubt. Walz might be, but not for her. Harris, the former prosecutor, owns a handgun, while Walz, the Democratic vice president nominee, is an avid hunter. Trump convicted... See, this is... There was literally no reason to put this line in there. Trump, convicted of a felony, faces the prospect of losing his right to possess a gun. He's scheduled to be sentenced in November. What did that have to do with the article?
Oh, just to put another... Just to dig in a little deeper.
It might as well have just put in my cat's breath smells like cat food. That was a complete, unrelated non sequitur that added nothing to the article. Wall Street Journal, you suck. Donkey water. 4 decades ago, Democrat gun owners were typically white men, including auto or steel union workers who grew up hunting. Today's liberal gun owners are much more diverse. Gun dealers saw the largest increase in black Americans buying guns compared with any other racial group. Yay, good. hopefully they're doing it legally and not getting them illegally like they are in Chicago and shooting each other. So it'd be nice to see some nice upstanding
They
citizens.
wouldn't know about it if I mean,
There's that.
They're doing this based on legal gun.
Yeah, every time
purchases.
somebody illegally gets a gun and illegally uses it to do illegal murdery type things, they punish everybody else who did it legally. I don't get it. I mean, I guess just like if you illegally enter the country, you get all the perks, and if you're here legally, forget you have to pay for them.
We've been on that. I know. It's.
Anyways, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, but you get the basic gist. I just thought it was
Red gun.
Yeah, we had one of those when we went through training. Nice to see women too. I think every woman should have a gun.
Women should definitely
especially
pack.
if
Women
you're
should be ready and able to properly defend themselves at all times.
Yeah, so good. I hope they do. I hope they learn a little bit about something. I hope they are responsible with their gun ownership. And I'm not seeing a problem with this other than they're still trying to say that it's because we're violent. Because I hate to break it to you, boo-boo, but it's not us burning down the cities and shooting people in the street.
We're not the ones throwing massive, mostly peaceful protests.
Yeah, so we're not the ones with the mostly peaceful protests, and we're definitely not the ones out there shooting at presidential candidates. So yeah, just consider that.
Just putting that out there.
Okay, well then. Well. Here we go.
Counterculture Wise is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
I should probably get those avatars up for when I do the intro at the beginning. So when I talk about my sweet baboo, they can see your babooedness. By the way, that shirt that he is wearing is available in our merch shop if you'd like to get that. I update it every year because it seems to just get more and more poignant.
Definitely more and more accurate.
Yeah, we had a whole series of goggle sketches that I think I will be animating and putting out there because
you did animate the first one.
I did animate a couple of them. I'd like to update them now that I actually have an Anna because they were stopped. Well, I might still put them out there. I had them up there, but there was a little bit of debauchery going on with the screw tube. So I might start yet another channel just for Bad Drawings Inc. so that you can see some of our older sketches and whatnot. All right, this first one's a little bit fun.
The mystery of an SUV seen perched on top of a Florida dumpster, and there's a picture of it right there, was revealed to have involved a poorly timed parking job, a construction site, and a forklift. All three necessary for something like this to happen.
So they did put it up there. It wasn't like a crash. Okay.
Scott Greenberg said he was on his way to the store when he spotted the vehicle parked on top of a dumpster off East Point Drive in Fort Myers. I had to do a double take. I texted my buddy. I'm like, is that fair game? Is that free? It's in the dumpster.
Let's go dumpster diving for an SUV.
He told WBBH. It turned out the SUV had been lifted onto the dumpster by a forklift operated by a construction worker helping to build a new apartment complex. Workers said the vehicle had been left parked in a work area. Now, that's how you handle it.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, it's better than having it towed and costing them a fortune to get it back.
That's true. Sometimes when you park where you're not supposed to, this is what happens, a construction worker said. No apologies. I dig that. The vehicle was later removed from the dumpster and relocated to a parking space away from the work area.
So I wonder if the owner even knew.
So, well, here's the rest of it. Construction workers said they learned the SUV belongs to a contractor who loans it to out-of-town workers in need of transportation. Now they need to add something to the contract saying,
don't park it in a construction zone.
Don't park in construction zones or other places where it doesn't make sense to park.
We need to find this contractor who loans out his vehicles because we need to borrow one. We promise we won't park it in a dumpster.
I'm not going to Florida to do it.
Yeah, well. So that was a Florida man. We have a whole docket of Florida men.
We got a heapin helpin of Florida man.
Heapin helpin of Florida man. Heapin.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, next up. Oh, I want this person as my neighbor. I definitely want this person as my neighbor. Axl Rose looking dude,
yeah.
Does kind of look like Axl Rose, yeah. Yeah. Excuse me while I hit a button here, and apparently didn't hit a button. Hit a button. California man accidentally pays neighbor's power bill for years. Why, thank you, kind sir. A California man discovered he has been mistakenly paying his neighbor's power bill for up to 18 years. Ken Wilson, who has lived in the same apartment since 2006, said he recently noticed his Pacific gas and electric bill was going up, so he took steps to try to reduce his energy usage. He reached out to PG&E when his bill failed to go down. I thought there was a leak or something. Someone was stealing my electricity, or the meter was faulty because something wasn't right. A utility company employee came to examine his meter and discovered that the company had been charging him for the unit next door instead of his own apartment. Well, then who was paying his?
The other person.
Wilson said the mix-up may have been happening for the entire 18 years that he has lived in the apartment. Holy smokes. I can't imagine living in an apartment for 18 years. We acknowledge an error occurred. Yeah, we acknowledge an error occurred in this instance, and we are fully committed to rectifying the situation with the customer to make the customer whole. So if they use more than he would have used, does he get a credit for all those years?
I would hope so. I would hope that the bill of the neighbor got adjusted accordingly with, of course, a fair way of paying it if it's a large amount.
So do you think they swapped them around backwards? And
yeah, I think it was just backwards. I don't know how they would do that. It's all done by computers, though. So, all right.
Next up.
This one is courtesy of Frankie.
Frankie's becoming quite the little contributor, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be premiering on an ad in the very near future.
Next week.
Yeah, so we have Frankie as a character, and we're also introducing Sadie officially as a character.
Our little Southern belle born here in Texas.
It's gonna be fun. Anyway, something to look forward to. A cat who went missing during a camping trip in Yellowstone National Park turned up 60 days later on the streets of a California town more than 800 miles away.
How the heck did he pull that off? And who takes their cat camping?
Oh, I would. I absolutely would. I'd take Frankie camping.
Well, Frankie does come when you call him, but...
Yes, he does.
I don't know.
Max sometimes does, too. Benny and Suzanne Aguiano of Salinas, California, said they often take their cats with them on camping trips, but during a June trip to Yellowstone National Park, one of their pets, I love the name of this cat, Rainbow.
That is
Raynebeau. Rainbow.
Really cute.
Was spooked and ran off into the trees.
Yeah, because he's a cat on a camping trip. Duh.
The couple said they spent days searching for the feline, but eventually had to go home without him. The Aguilanos received a message 60 days later from Pet Watch revealing Rainbow was at the Placer SPCA in Roseville, California, more than 800 miles from where he had vanished.
Criminy.
The SPCA said the cat had been brought in by a woman who found him wandering loose in the streets of Roseville. The couple said they do not know how Rainbow managed to travel so far, but they are hoping someone will come forward with a story. Until then, we don't have one. They said their reunion with their pet highlights the importance of having pets microchipped.
Amen.
Do it now. Drop everything.
Frankie
and go
just
do it
got
now.
his.
Yes.
Yes.
He got something added and something removed.
Something removed and something, yeah. He's no worse for the wear, though. He was up and...
No, he was up and running same day, still annoying the other cats.
Well, we will continue to search for the resolution of that story and find out the story of how Rainbow came to be where he was. I'm assuming he hopped in somebody's car. This one is so cool. The message in a bottle from 200 years ago. A team of student volunteers and an archaeologist. I have a thing covering the thing. So let's uncover the thing with the thing. And there you go. Now you can see the whole thing. There's your message in a bottle.
The whole thing without a thing.
Sifting through the remains of a... Now, is it Gaulish or Gaulish village on cliff tops near Dieppe?
Gaulish.
I'm going to butcher every stinking...
Gaul means French. Gaulish.
Oh, Gaulish. Ah, oui, ha, okay.
Oui, ha.
Dieppe. On Monday, they uncovered an earthenware pot containing a small glass flask. It was the kind of vial that women used to wear around their necks containing smelling salts. Said this dude, Guillaume
Blondel.
Maybe you should read this.
Yeah, I probably will.
Okay.
Who heads the archaeological
No,
service
you got to do
for
it in the
town.
accent.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't want to use up the whole 2 hours. Okay, that's all right. It is the kind of vials that women used to wear around their necks containing smelling salts. said team leader Guillaume Blondel, who heads the archaeological service for the town of Ew.
Ew.
Inside the bottle was a message on paper rolled up and tied with string. On Tuesday evening, Mr. Blondel opened the paper, which read as follows. P.J. Ferret, a native of Dieppe, member of various intellectual societies, carried out excavations here in January 1825. He continues his investigations in this vast area known as the Cité des Limes or Caesar's Camp. Ferret was a local notable, and municipal records confirmed that he conducted a first dig at the site 200 years ago.
Wow.
It was an absolutely magic moment. It was an absolutely magique moment, said Mr. Blondel. We knew there'd been excavations here in the past, but to find this message from 200 years ago, it was a total surprise. Sometimes you see these time capsules left behind by carpenters when they build houses, but it's very rare in archaeology. Most archaeologists prefer to think that there won't be anyone coming after them because they've done all the work. John Cleese, BBC. The emergency dig was ordered because of cliff erosion at the spot just north of Dieppe. Already a substantial part of the oppidum, or fortified village, has disappeared. Mr. Blondel said, we knew it was a Gaulish village. What we didn't know is that what went on inside the village. Was it a place of importance? In the weeks since the dig began, several artifacts digging from the Gaulish period, mostly pieces of pottery from around 2,000 years ago, have been uncovered.
How fascinating.
That is far out.
I do that with my students when we have to read a long passage and they don't like reading. I say, okay, well, I'll share this with you every other paragraph, but you have to do a different accent every paragraph you read. And some of them really get into it. It's fun.
They're rolling their eyes the entire time because they're kids.
Yeah, they are. They like some of the, what they'll typically do though is try to do the one that I do. So I'll do some really crazy ones. Okay. Well, I guess this one's mine then, since I made you read that one.
Well, it was a pleasure to do so.
It was a pleasure to do so. A man was trapped in a truck on live TV during a Hurricane Francine until off-duty what is wrong with my face? Man was trapped in truck on live TV during Hurricane Francine until off-duty nurse broke a window to save him. There, I did it. I did it. I did it. And after
You want me to read this one too?
Yeah, I've got this. Okay. An off-duty New Orleans emergency room nurse rushed to help when she saw a reporter live streaming an emergency in his neighborhood, and thanks to his quick thinking, he saved a stranger's life. Around 8:45 p.m. local time on Wednesday, September 11, hours after Hurricane Francine first made landfall as a Category 2 storm, Miles Crawford was standing on his porch with his 10-year-old dog Annie, watching the storm. The storm will come out too. I've been through quite a few hurricanes, Crawford, an emergency room nurse at University Medical Center. They already told us all that. A level 1 trauma center in New Orleans tells people. I wasn't worried or anxious, but I knew it was moving fast. Then his brother texted him to say, God, I'm so happy to find that the word texted is a word. Because I'm always wondering, she sent me a text. Is texted a word?
Yeah.
It is now officially a word. Texted.
It has been.
Well, I don't know. It just feels weird.
Okay.
Then his brother texted him to say he saw a news crew at the canal about 200 feet from Crawford's home in Lakeview. It's known to flood there quickly and fast, Crawford said. They're always having to shut down that road. Rut-row. By the time he approached, he saw a police car with sirens flashing and WDSU news reporter Jonah Gilmore's red rain jacket. The reporter was frantically asking police officers for help because a man was trapped in a submerged pickup truck floating in the flooded canal. I was stressed, Gilmore 33 tells people. I can't just jump into rushing floodwater, and I'm also trying to do my job, but it's like, what do I do? Because we're live on TV and this guy is in his car stuck and we can't get out. Being in that situation, it was just so scary and frantic, adds the WDSU news reporter. So is this reporter the dude? That's Miles Crawford. Okay. That's an interesting stance he has there. And why is he looking into the sun? Okay. Well, look at all the nerd stuff he has, the pens and whatnot. Sorry, it's a weird picture. From the scene, Crawford texted his brother that he was going to go check it out and see if he can help. He knocked on the police car's windows, but the officer wasn't in the car. He approached the TV reporter. I was like, hey, I'm an ER nurse. I've got medical supplies. Do y'all need anything? I can help out. The reporter was like, yeah, we actually might need some help. And I was like, what can I do? Wow, look at those floods. That stinks. When Crawford got closer to the truck, he spoke with the police officer who told him the water was about 8 feet deep. It's not safe. It's too deep. But Crawford decided to spring into action and perform the rescue himself anyway, because the cop must have been from Uvalde, because it sounds like he was a
Now
big,
read the
fat
next.
buck.
Be nice.
Okay.
Read the next paragraph.
I don't blame the cop. He says if I was him, I wouldn't have gone in there by myself to try and get that guy out because I had no backup. I was like, well, if I go in there, at least he can facilitate my rescue if
The
something
ones
were
in
to happen.
Uvalde had backup. There's a
that.
big difference.
Like lots.
Big difference.
Crawford says he asked if anyone had anything to break a window and then ran back to his house to grab a hammer before rushing into the rapidly rising water. I kicked off my boots and walked in that water, making sure I don't fall. I know there's a big ledge there as well. It's not level ground there, so I don't want to steep in a hole. I think he meant step. Misstep and get swept off. He says, I go over there and I get to the window and I say, can you get in the back seat? And he said, yeah. The water was up to Crawford's chest. Oh, and you know it was moving fast, so that is a fight. Mm-hmm. Inside the truck, the water was up to the driver's chin. He's like, man, the water's rising pretty quickly, Crawford recalls. I told him, yeah, it's going to be over your head in a minute if you don't get out. Crawford used his hammer to break the window that helped the man climb out. Probably because all the electrical wouldn't allow him to roll down the window if it was all soaked in water. I then helped him climb out. I just grabbed him. He was unsteady on his feet. I started to fall back into the water.
I saw that. I was trying to save it.
He says he got the man over to a guardrail, and after climbing over, they were able to get on dry land. Thank God. This guy is so brave and selfless. He's a legit hero, Gilmore tells people. But to Crawford, it was all in a day's work. Honestly, I don't see it as going above and beyond. It's actually pretty easy compared to what we do here in the emergency room. Says Crawford, who says he wasn't on duty because of the storm and is currently in school to become a nurse practitioner. Well, thank you, sir, for your service. As for storms in general, Crawford urges others to listen to the news and follow the news. Stay off the road. Wait to be safe. Help out.
Don't be a dummy.
And don't be a dummy. Don't drive your truck in a wash. Gilmer echoes the warning, saying, I just want to stress to people the dangers of flood, waters, and what could happen. And it happens fast, let me tell you. It's like 1 second, everything's groovy, and the next second, not so groovy. All right. Well, we are continuing with our pandemonium with the next story. So,
with roughly 2,000 giant pandas remaining in the wild, I love that photo. That's just the happiest panda you ever did see. Scientists
he does look like he's smiling.
Yeah. Scientists have spent the last several decades looking for new ways to help the iconic black and white bears stave off extinction. And now it seems there may be more hope than ever before. For the first time, scientists have taken ordinary skin cells from the animal and transformed them into stem cells.
No.
Having this type of stem cell, which can be nudged into becoming any kind of cell in the body, could help researchers breed more giant pandas and develop treatments for their diseases. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but that's
just... I was going to say, if they can do this with the pandas, they can do that with us, right?
Yep.
Well, that's fascinating. Fibroblast, plural sum. Yeah, it gets really technical.
Yeah.
Really technical. Wow, there's all kinds of fun things. Scientists grow humanized kidneys in pig embryos. Mouse hair turns gray when certain stem cells get stuck. So they're doing a lot with stem cells, apparently.
Yeah.
Lots and lots.
Yeah.
But we knew they were important.
Yeah.
All right, this next story, I wanted to do this with Abby and actually had signed up for the program, and then we moved. So I never actually got to do it. In Washington State, it's called Reading with Rover. This is Reading Educational Assistance Dog, READ. Here is their website, therapyanimals.org/read, so you can get involved there. And we, of course, will have that on our website. But let's hear a little bit about these Woggies. Reading Educational Assistant Dogs has gained popularity since its inception in 1999 as a program of Intermountain Therapy Animals of Salt Lake City. READ is an innovative program that allows children to read to therapy dogs in order to foster a love for books and reading. And it really does make a difference. For some reason, just having a dog present. There was a program where the students would come and read to dogs at the shelter. And it actually, not only did it help the kids read, but it made the dogs more adoptable because they got used to human
Being around
contact
people, doing everyday things.
and it was soothing to them. And I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. The program is based on the idea that the benefits of being around animals can help children learn to read and develop a lifelong passion for learning. READ supports children in their literacy journey by providing them with a safe, non-judgmental environmental to read. And dogs will sit there and listen. They love it. Research has demonstrated that READ has significant benefits for children. Studies show that children's reading fluency and comprehension improve as a result of the program. Moreover, READ has been shown to help support children's social and emotional learning. As children read to the dogs, they are able to build confidence and self-esteem and develop empathy and a compassion for animals and others.
It's fantastic.
So they go on to tell you how you can screen for it and how it's used as a therapy and turning it into a fun activity and things that you can do. So I highly recommend checking out the website, learning a little
Just
bit more
another
about
reason
it.
to love doggies, says the cat man.
Yeah. Horses are really good for this too. Reading to horses is awesome and a really good thing to learn. Now that we've shared all the good stuff, it is time for News of the Wicked. Now see, that's why we can't have nice things. That's
always
Frankie.
the best way to start off the...
That's Frankie
News of the Wicked.
walking through the through my bookcase the other day.
Well, may the farce be with you. Here we go. The force was not with them. A Star Wars-loving military family's vacation hit a snag because their son was denied a passport as officials ruled that his peculiar name was too out of this world. British soldier Christian Mowbray's son was born on May 4th, 2017, informally known as Star Wars Day, because May the 4th be with you. Get it? So he and his wife, Becky, fittingly named him after one of the most famous families in cinema history in homage to the hit film franchise. There's a little kid right there.
He's cute.
Thus, Loki Skywalker Mowbray came to be.
I think it's a fantastic name.
I think Loki Skywalker is the most bad. I'm changing my name to Loki Skywalker
No, you're
effective
not.
immediately. Counterculture-wise, with Melanie Hope and Loki Skywalker.
No.
All right, anyway. Thus he came to be, and for the first 7 years of his life, there was no huge problem with the name. That is, until the family of 5 planned to go on a vacation to the Dominican Republic in October.
Who goes on vacation in the DR?
I don't know.
Stay on the right side of the wall. That's all I'm saying.
The trip was supposed to be a joyous one because it would be the first getaway the family would have since 2014 due to the strict work schedule of young Skywalker's parents.
Young Skywalker.
Christian Mowbray, at 48, is serving the Corps of Royal Engineers at the Rock Barracks in Sutton Heath, 100 miles northeast of London, England. Thank you for your service, good sir. Mowbray's wife is a former soldier, thank you, and has had previous struggles with complex PTSD, according to the outlet. With it being their first international trip since their son's birth, they needed new passports. The Home Office, in charge of the nation's immigration, security, and law and order, denied the youngster's passport, claiming it couldn't print Skywalker because of Disney's copyright on the name.
You can't copyright a name.
So if my name were Richard Bond, I wouldn't be able to go because Bond is a registered name? I don't know.
Disney is mercenary, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
they're awful.
You can't copyright a human being's name.
I think they were being overly cautious. The family had no knowledge of having this issue when they named their son. The department told the family they either had to change their son's name, or get permission from Disney to use Skywalker.
How do you...
We were not aware this could be a potential issue, Mowbray said. We understand that Loki's middle name is copyrighted, but we have no intention of using it for personal gain. I understand the Home Office's position and reasoning. I don't. But I believe they need to recognize that modern names are evolving, he added. I can understand if an adult changes their name for a stunt, but this is not the case for a child from birth. Mowbray says his son was eventually issued the passport and the family's vacation
Isn't this
is still
the country
on.
where you can go to jail for misgendering someone, but you won't go to jail for, forcing a woman to do something she doesn't want
I'm
to do in the
hoping
middle of the
that
street.
isn't the case throughout the nation.
Yeah.
I don't know. A similar situation arose for another UK family because they named their daughter after a Game of Thrones character. Southwest England mother Lucy said she needed to get Warner Brothers' permission for her 6-year-old daughter Khaleesi to get a passport with the trademark name. The 39-year-old mom was planning their dream trip to Disneyland Paris when she got the bad news. I had a letter come through from a passport office saying her name is trademarked by Warner Brothers, she told the BBC. It was the first I've heard of such a thing. I was astonished. A Brazilian court denied a family trying to name their newborn son after an ancient king because it was ruled too similar to a dance move, which could result in bullying of the child. Thanks for nannying the parents there. Caterina and Danielo Primola had planned to name their newborn son Pa in homage to the first black Egyptian pharaoh who had ruled Egypt for 30 years and helped in founding the 25th dynasty. That's a cool name. But come on. Everybody. However, the Court of Justice in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais and Registry Office ruled that Pa's pronunciation is too similar to plie, a Portuguese word for ballet dance step. Even though PA is spelled differently, the court claimed the parents would not be permitted to register first names that could expose their bearers to ridicule.
Well, what if they wanted to name their child Trump or name it after one of their leaders that, was disgraced? I mean, I don't know. That's so subjective and nanny fascist. I don't even have a word for it. It was just so
Let's
fascist.
continue the insanity.
Oh.
This one was not brought to you by Disney, home of the mouse.
Nope. Poor Mickey. A Scandinavian airline has said one of its flights had to make an emergency landing after a mouse scurried out of a passenger's in-flight meal on Wednesday. Now, I'm less impressed with the mouse than I am with the fact that somebody actually got a freaking meal on an airplane. They don't do that anymore.
This is a European airline. They're different.
And they must be.
No, they still treat their passengers as something more than
They
cattle.
just don't smack you upside the head with mini pretzels and
Yeah.
half a glass of water. The plane was traveling from Norway's capital Oslo to the Spanish city Malaga and was forced to make an emergency landing in Copenhagen. Well, if you're going to land in Copenhagen. The diversion was in line with the company procedures as the furry stowaway posed a safety risk. Airline spokesman, not going to try, told the AFP.
Oystein Schmidt.
Passengers on the flight were later flown to Malaga on a different aircraft. Wow, they evacuated the whole airplane over a mouse. Airlines usually have strict restrictions involving rodents on board planes in order to prevent electrical wiring being chewed through. Makes sense.
That actually does.
Believe it or not, a lady next to me here at SAS opened the food and out jumped a mouse. Now we have turned around and landed at Copenhagen Airport for flight changes, one passenger wrote on Facebook. He posted the comment alongside laughing emojis and a photo of him smiling while sat next to two women. This is something that happens extremely rarely. We have established procedures for such situations, which also include review with our suppliers to ensure this does not happen again. Yeah, the suppliers ultimately, because they pack those off-site.
Yeah, it isn't
Yeah.
like they used to be where they just pulled them out and prepared it for you and served it up to you on a plate.
Well, thank
It's all
God they didn't nuke it. At least it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the second incident in a week. Oh, a train. Two squirrels boarded a carriage and one refused to get off. Oh, dear. That's a little bit different than a mouse being in your food. So hopefully she got a free meal or something because, yeah.
Wow.
Goodness gracious. And now, more pandemonium.
This will be, I believe, the last panda story, and it's a dog.
And now you'll understand our thumbnail.
Zoogoers in China have been left outraged after discovering that the so-called pandas they were cooing over were just painted dogs.
And how did they not know? I mean, that's so obvious that's a dog.
The duped visitors claim they only realized the scam at the Shanwei Zoo when one of the apparent pandas started panting and barking, according to local media.
It took panting and barking for them to realize that that's not a chow.
Video shot by visitors showed one of the not-so-subtly disguised dogs clearly panting while lying on a rock inside a fenced-off area. Just moments later, a second pooch can be seen strolling along with a long curly tail.
It's obviously a dog.
I mean, they're cute dogs, but come on now.
Okay, but see, they're not being duped, though, because they are a special animal called panda dogs. Panda dogs. Yeah.
It later came clean, though, and admitted it just died 2 chow chows, a breed of Spitz is popular in northern China.
So obvious.
My parents had a chow once. He was a vicious mongrel.
They are mean. They are mean dogs.
Bit my dad.
Chow chows,
that
chow
was the
chows
end of
are
that.
in the top 10 for biters.
Yeah, just ask Jack.
Yeah, they are. They're mean.
Yeah.
They're mean dogs.
The visitors demanded their money back after the barking ordeal came to light. This isn't the first time a Chinese zoo has faced backlash over a similar counterfeit, with a group of fake pandas discovered at the Taihu Zoo.
I think we talked about that
did.
one. Yeah.
We did. In Jiangsu. Zoo officials there dyed the faces of several chow chows and put them on display. So it's...
Well, that's why they tried to dupe visitors. The zoo representative said there are no panda bears at the zoo, and we wanted to do this as a result. Or
How
we
nice.
could have just not had that display. Panda dogs! Get your panda dogs here. Panda dogs. I'm just blown away that it took people that long to figure it out. I mean...
Maybe these people really had never seen real pandas before.
Well, even still, they're obviously dogs.
And now CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Big Demands Edition, September 2024. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is that the DNC, a totally random white guy, attempted to murder Donald Trump yet again. Of course, they're trying to say that the registered Democrat, well known by his interviews with nearly all mainstream media outlets and for getting away with 20 felony charges, including possession of weapons of mass destruction, I swear I am not making this up, while recruiting Iranians to fight in the Ukrainian war, no, I'm not making that up either, somehow managed to sneak close enough to Trump International Golf Course with a backpack, body armor, and sniper rifle, and wait 12 hours for Trump himself to arrive, unplanned and unannounced. Thankfully, a Secret Service agent spotted the muzzle of his gun poking out of the bushes, creating the perfect Elmer Fudd versus Bugs Bunny meme that no one asked for. Authorities swear he had no known motive, which, given his history, fails to pass the sniff test. In fact, it stinks worse than my cat's litter box after feeding him a week's worth of asparagus. Meanwhile, the Secret Service investigated itself and found that the July incident in which a known troubled youth with foreign ties was able to first fly a drone over the site, then scope the joint with a viewfinder, and finally waltz in undetected with a ladder and sniper rifle in front of a crowd pointing him out and yelling, "Hey, he's got a gun," until he popped off enough shots to almost Kennedy Trump while injuring 2 innocent bystanders and killing another was due to, quote, communication errors. Gee, you think? The department added that since their failure in July, Trump has been receiving the same level of protection as supposed President Biden. They continued, the biggest problem we're facing with this level of protection is that candidate Trump insists on going more places than just the beach and the basement. The New York Times Tech Guild is threatening to strike at a critical time, Election Day. Their 2-year battle for a mutually acceptable contract has yet to reach an agreement over their totally valid concerns, which include 4-day work weeks, unlimited sick time, a ban on all scented products in the break rooms, protection from layoffs for non-U.S. citizens on work visas, mandatory trigger warnings on news briefs so they won't hear about how their now protected migrants overwhelming their town are eating their pets, and finally, pet bereavement time off for when their pets are eaten by illegal immigrants. Am I making this up?
No, it's real.
All right. Hezbollah sleeper cells got a wake-up call, page, when their devices exploded unexpectedly, because that's how explosions work. More than 1,000 operatives in Lebanon got a rude awakening when Israel detonated their main form of communication. Kamala Harris's campaign is desperate to separate itself from being the completely failed incumbent Harris-Biden administration, and yet feels it has successfully done so by literally copying and pasting Biden's policies to her website. No, I swear I am not making this up. When asked about her alleged immigration policies during the debate, Harris launched into a story about how she, a privileged child with two university professor parents, was raised middle class, which somehow explains why she's currently failing to protect the border. Harris tossed her word salad with absolute confidence that she would never be fact-checked per the arrangement with all major media outlets, which are composed of her backers, besties, and sorority sisters. Speaking of arrangements with media outlets, since no actual debating occurred between the actual candidates during what was supposed to be a presidential debate, the internet filled the political void by disseminating juicy Trump, cat, duck, and goose memes. At least we're having fun. After polling its members and learning that more than 60% support Trump, rather than actually doing its literal single job in representing its members, the Teamsters Union announced that, for the first time in 3 decades, it will not be endorsing any candidate at all. Meanwhile, the National Association of Letter Carriers announced its endorsement of Kamala Harris, because that isn't obvious or anything. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.
This is not Bubba Waters. It is no longer 2020. But this is your new abnormal.
I do believe that we need to do buybacks, and I'll tell you why. So one, I'll tell you, when elected president, if the United States Congress continues to fail to have the courage to do something about this, I'm prepared to take executive action. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
All right, this next story needs to be told.
Absolutely.
And the video, I would play the full video, but the woman has a potty mouth. I mean, she swears more than you, the Marine. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to play.
not without reason, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the sound of the video, but I'm going to play the video and tell you what's going on, so you don't. If I tried to play the version where they beep out her swear words,
It's just a nonstop beep fest.
Yeah, so she's got quite the potty mouth. But I don't blame her, considering.
Yeah, I don't either. Absolutely not.
So let's set up the situation. Apparently, she's a mom. She has several children, and the neighbors complained about noise. So the cops come out. Routine, everyday thing, kind of stupid.
I just think it's just an individual sheriff to begin with, right?
Yeah, he's just the sheriff. The guy shows up in like tactical gear. I mean, he looks like he's ready to bust down the door. So at the beginning here, I'm going to go ahead and play this. At the beginning, you see the cop ringing the doorbell, and with the sound on, you don't hear any noise coming from the house. So you can hear him walking around, and even he confirmed that there was no noise at any time. Why would you ring the doorbell and then back off so far? Is he expecting guns blazing. I mean, what is he doing?
I
So this
don't know.
kid opens the door, sees this scary looking cop in there, and closes the door like, well, pretty much any kid would do because he's scary looking.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he do? He walks up, and as you can see, he just opens
Lets
the
himself
door,
in, yeah.
walks in the house.
Makes himself at home.
So he's already breaking a law, basically. He's already trespassing. I don't care if he's a cop. I don't care. There was no cause, no criminal activity. It was a noise complaint. There was no reason for him to go into that home. And so Mom, who knows her rights, is saying, whoa, you're not welcome in my home. He actually puts look at him. He puts his foot in the door, he let himself in. He was not invited in. He didn't knock or anything. He just opened the door and decided he was going to come in. And Adele, she says, you don't have a warrant. If you need to talk to me, we can speak outside. You can see she's wearing like a sock or something on one foot, and I understand that she was injured in some way, so we'll probably get to that. So he tells her that he's pointing to her kids, that they opened the door and ran from me. And it's like, well, so? They're kids.
Right.
If I opened the door and I saw this crazed lunatic in tactical gear, I would close the door and run.
I mean,
too.
it looks more like a soldier than a sheriff.
Yeah.
That's scary.
The only thing I would have done differently in their situation is I would have locked the frickin' door.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would have locked the door. Okay, so Mom is understandably upset. She has a potty mouth, which is why we're not playing the audio. Anyways, he proceeds to she says, you're not welcome in my home, get out of my home. And he doesn't have a search warrant. There's no reason for him to be there. So she says, leave my home. And he says, no, now that I'm inside of your home, the actual quote is, now that I'm inside your house, I own your house right now.
So when did that become the law? That once
Never.
a sheriff enters a police
Never.
officer walks into your house, they own it.
Yeah. It's like, if you lick my doorknobs, do I have to give you my lease? I mean, what is that? So,
don't
her
give them
kids
any
are
ideas.
teenagers, they don't know any better. And Mom is so mad, she's so hot at this point, that the kids are actually trying to calm her down.
Right.
And she is in full mama bear mode. And I get it. I do. She's an itty bitty tiny woman, and look how tiny she is. Her kids are like, calm down, Mom, calm down. And of course, telling a woman to calm down is probably the worst thing
And
you
telling
can
your mom
possibly
to
do.
calm down, she's just going to ignore you anyway.
Yeah.
So
she keeps telling him, I didn't invite you in my house. I don't want you in my house. There's no reason for you to be in my house. Please leave. And he won't. She says, well, I'll talk to you outside. She's trying to be reasonable. She didn't start swearing until... And then he just flat out attacks her. I mean,
this
you
is
saw
after
that.
she says, I want your supervisor here.
Yeah, he flat out attacks her. Thank God these kids are filming it. And they're like, okay, let's get away from this. What's going on? They're just kids. He launched at that woman. She didn't insult. Well, she basically said, I don't want you in my effing house, is what she said. But he's just completely gone out of control. And Mom is like, I didn't touch you. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch you. I didn't do anything. So here's another angle. He slammed. What is that? He invaded her home for no reason, told her he owned her home because he stepped foot inside of it, then attacks her.
I smell a lawsuit.
I hope so.
I mean, that's just
I hope
insane.
so. So this video, look at that. He puts her in handcuffs and takes her away. And the kids are saying, Mom, calm down, and she's like, I didn't do anything. So the kids are actually trying to calm her down. There she is with her injured foot. This guy is a power-hungry nut job. He needs to lose his job, but he also needs to be jailed. That was assault. That was a flat-out assault, and thank God these kids recorded it. So she gets arrested. You're not going to believe this.
What up?
She's this video has gotten millions of views at this point. The article we found said 10,000, but it's gotten way more than that. So they're showing different angles. There's a whole bunch of cops coming out. I mean, this woman did nothing. She literally was arrested for nothing. For literally nothing. And this guy is a psychotic, power-hungry freak.
Did they give the sheriff's name?
Well, 6 to 8 deputies ended up walking through the house and interrogating everyone there, waiting on body cam footage. This took place on July 4th. Who puts in a noise complaint on July 4th?
We tried once. if I remember correctly.
Well, okay, there's a difference between a noise complaint and a, hey, they're lighting off half sticks of dynamite and throwing them in our pool. There's a difference. There's a difference, okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So she didn't touch him. Of course, the office declined to answer any questions about the deputy's conduct as depicted in the video. Shirley's arraignment was scheduled for Friday, but as of Saturday afternoon, no update on her pleas has been posted. Since being posted on Wednesday, the video has generated around 10,000 views, but it's up in the millions now. It's on YouTube. We'll have the link. Many commenters questioned the deputy's conduct, with some calling for the deputy's firing and others advocating for criminal charges to be brought
Melanie
against
just
him.
advocated for both.
Yeah, I'm happy with both. It all started following a neighbor's noise complaint. Thanks, neighbor. The incident occurred over a month before being posted to social media and only days before the arraignment of the individual arrested for, here's what she got charged with: delaying, obstructing an investigation. An investigation. Delaying or obstructing a noise complaint. Delaying, obstructing an investigation.
95% of cops' calls these days are noise complaints. That's like a nothing. It's a huge
to the
nothing.
delinquency of minors.
Maybe
That
her
to
mouth
me-
did, but that's.
Yeah, other than what she was, I mean, when I hear contributing to the delinquency of minors, I'm thinking, mom bought them a keg, or the kids were clearly not drunk or anything. They were trying to calm their mom down. This is insane. All body-worn camera footage has been obtained, and the sheriff's office says it will conduct a thorough investigation to determine if discipline is warranted. I can't believe this happened in the United States of America. I can't believe this is what our country has come to, and it's only going to get worse. Now, this lady was 100% right in her attitude, but she didn't handle it very well with the potty mouth and everything. You need to be calm. You need to be reasonable. You also need to tell them exactly what your rights are and what they're violating. And the next guy did everything right. So this one's actually kind of funny. And New Hampshire Libertarian posted a little bit of a spicy tweet. Okay, so what he posted was, actually I can show this here. Here I go. Anyone who murders Kamala Harris would be an American hero. Okay, not a nice take, not a whatever, but it's not a direct call to action. It's not like the posts that many liberals have put on there, flat out saying we need to target, we need to take out, we need to shoot, we need to kill.
even Basement Joe said we got to put a bullseye on Trump.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on.
Yeah, and nothing happens to them.
Of course not.
So he contributes to the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire's account. Apparently he's the one who wrote that. And somebody whined about it. Of course, a liberal whined about it and hashtag FBI and this and that. So sure enough, these guys show up at his door. Now, the video I have isn't the enhanced video, it's the original video. So you can go and find enhanced videos where they've upped the volume on these guys so you can hear what they're saying. And they've put subtitles on it. So this is the original video because I wanted to have it in its entirety without a bunch of garbage over the top of it.
Right.
Basically, these guys show up in 2 separate cars. They announce on their way up that they're from the FBI. Do those look like FBI agents?
No,
to
they
you?
look like schmoes from the local church going to witness to you, or
Well, right.
or
One of the memes is have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the government?
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's one of the memes
Pretty
that's
much
going
it.
around. And the guy on the right flashes a badge, but never actually shows an ID. And they don't really say what they're there to investigate, but what they do say is we just want to make sure that you weren't issuing a threat. And okay. So let's watch this video. I think this guy only swears once and it's beeped out. So it wasn't like Adele because that woman had a potty mouth. But here we go.
How can I help you?
So they say we're from the FBI.
Yeah.
And ask him his name. Are you Jeremy?
Who are you?
So-and-so? And he's like, who are you?
Can you give your full name, please? Is that sufficient to identify as there only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No.
No.
It's First Amendment right.
Right.
What's your name?
So he's like, I'm agent so-and-so from the FBI. And it's like, okay, so there's only one agent so-and-so's like in all of the FBI. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
The only one that matters.
Click X the doubt there on that one. Okay. I'm not buying that one. Anyways, what does he say? Agent O'Donnell. And he asks, is that sufficient identification? There's only one Agent O'Donnell. The guy's like, in New Hampshire, yes. So it's already like, okay.
Name, sir?
So he asks for ID and he won't give it to him.
Could you stop recording?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and
Ask him to
identification, or
stop
I'm going to go
recording.
back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to
Show me your
broadcast.
ID or I'm going back in the house.
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to.
So you can show me your name or ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk to you.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
The guy on the left is laughing almost the whole time.
Because he's embarrassed about it.
Is
Wouldn't
that
he be?
is that an embarrassed laugh?
Or, he's seen the absurdity of it anyway. I don't know if he's ashamed of it or anything.
I would be ashamed. If this really is the FBI, I'm still struggling with believing this is the FBI.
Okay. Well, you see our badges?
I need to see, is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about
He's so
the
mad at
post
that.
that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to be the one that made the
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making 6 figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like you're familiar with. So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any other
No, you're
threats.
coming because.
We want to make sure that there weren't any threats. He posted something on Twitter. I mean, seriously. The other guy, I think the other guy, if he is a real FBI agent, he's like embarrassed. But if he's not an FBI agent and this is just like a ruse, he just can't stop laughing.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are doubting that this is even a real thing. They think it was
I
clickbait.
have doubts. They look like siding salesmen.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm saying that because
Have
I
you
used to
heard
be a
of
siding
so-and-so's
salesman.
windows?
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's
Yeah.
what I dressed like. It was just you dress like a schlub. Agents dress. I mean, maybe it's just I watch too many TV shows, but they show up dressed professionally.
I want Mulder and Scully. If you don't show up Mulder and Scully, you're not the FBI in my mind.
Yeah, show up
You-
Skulder and Mully, and we'll see what we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Scuzzball
saying.
and Moldy. Let's just do it.
Oh, shush.
Because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken. And that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law. And you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you cowards.
Don't get no eggs for breakfast either.
Drive away.
Right. You think about what you just did. Why did they
Drive
put
away.
them in 2 different cars? That's what
You're
I
not
don't
welcome.
understand.
You should be embarrassed.
Well, thank you.
Embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing.
So apparently he has a driver. So he's another person in this car. He gets in the passenger seat. There's somebody in the car this whole time. Took him so long.
We do not advocate what he is saying. We advocate his right to say it. Okay, there we go.
This reminds me of the cartoon. I used to have it on my wall. I needed to find it. That it is a stork eating a frog, and the frog has reached out and grabbed the stork by the neck. It's like the one last defiant act before. Yeah. So now he's doing the circuit. Jeremy Kaufman is the man's name, and folks are calling him an American hero. What? A spokesperson for the Secret Service said in an email that the agency is aware of the social media post made by the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire and that the Secret Service investigates all threats related to our protectees. Oh, do they?
Do they now?
Do
They
they
don't
now?
do a great job as of late, so
Yeah, it seems to me like it's a little bit one-sided because
maybe just a wee bit.
you can literally say, F off, bullseye, kill, shoot a particular orange person, and that's okay. Nobody's getting investigated for that. So the party proceeded to delete the initial post from its account Sunday morning while releasing a statement that said it was only doing so begrudgingly. Quote, "It's a shame that even on a free speech website that libertarians cannot speak freely." A message on the account read, referencing X's terms of service. Libertarians are truly the most oppressed minority. I'm going to say white men who happen to be leaning toward libertarian are the most oppressed minority. I'm going to take it one step further. Gingers, we're the most oppressed minority. You're constantly replacing
I'm
us.
oppressing her constantly.
Constantly. We can't
I'm
talk-
oppressing her right now just by my presence in this room.
Yes, by his being Jim.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how you're oppressing me, but okay. Yeah, so that happened. Wow. Just wow. You know what? I think we need a palate cleanser.
Yes.
What do you think?
Let's cleanse the
Ever had a day you felt so stupid, lacking a brain? Well, here's a guy who'll make you feel like a genius and maybe even sane.
All the world loves to laugh at losers as often as they can. Here comes another chance to chuckle. Here comes the Florida Man. That is the consummate Florida Man right there, I'll tell you what. Welcome to another episode of Florida Man. Oh, boy.
Have we got some doozies for you? Rock, paper, scissors, who gets the first one?
Okay, sure.
You're okay. Rod, boom. Oh, both scissors. Okay, ba, boom. Both paper. One more try. Ba, boom. Oh, scissors beats paper. Wait, we didn't establish whether the winner gets to read first or the loser has to read first. We did not establish that.
When your day is done and you want to roll on, cocaine. Romaine. If you want to have salad with a lot of If your hair's getting thin, you better rub it in
Rogaine. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk about why we're talking about what we're talking
A
about.
Florida man was arrested earlier this week in Pasco County after fleeing a traffic stop and attempting to conceal drugs the best possible way.
We're literally reading
He
this
tried to
one just for the
ingest
picture.
them. Troopers said they tried to stop a driver, later identified as 40-year-old Joel Craig Wallace, for allegedly speeding on US 19 near
Oh, he
Mile
was
Stretch
speeding
Road.
all right. He
Yeah,
was all kinds of speeding.
Man, that guy's messed up. I don't think there's really anything else to say.
It
but
looks like he fell face first into
Wallace
a vat of
reportedly
baby powder.
He's like doing the final scene from Scarface. I'm just nuts. For Shuming. Wallace reportedly...
He looks happy, though. You got to hand
Yeah,
it to him. He looks
well,
pretty happy.
I would be too if I had a bunch of coke up my schnozzle.
Splort.
He refused to stop leading to a brief pursuit that ended when he arrived at his residence on Kibler Lane. Before his arrest, Wallace ingested cocaine in an attempt to hide the drugs, troopers said.
Yeah, really
Wallace
good
faces
hiding
charges
place
of
there, buddy.
Fleeing and eluding possession of coke and tampering with evidence. And just being a moron.
Really, is snorting it tampering with evidence? That's tampering with evidence. I would never. I don't know. It's tampering with evidence. All right, the next
This guy
one.
almost looks proud of what he did.
He really does.
I was like, yeah, I got you guys.
Yeah.
Kind of
Okay.
outsmarted you, eh, little Tom?
There he is. That's exactly what this guy looks like. Say it again as if you got to do with the face.
Kind of outsmarted you, eh, little Tom?
That is exactly what it's looked like. Okay, a man attempted to evade arrest by hiding in the attic of his Palm Coast home. So keep in mind, this guy is hiding in his own attic at his home. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office on August 30th, Michael Allison thought he could hide from deputies in his home on Piedmont Drive. According to deputies, he was wanted on a felony violation of probation warrant for unlawful possession of a controlled substance. I wonder what that was. Na 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 na. Oh, and driving on a suspended license. What a winner. Deputies said they saw Allison enter his home on Piedmont Drive and knocked on the door and window, announcing themselves to Allison and why they were at his home. After knocking multiple times, the sheriff's office said deputies entered the home in search. Okay, so this time they knocked on the door, they did the thing, they had a warrant, they came in.
They did it the right way.
They did it the right way.
The legal way. The
Uh-huh.
ethical way.
Right.
Right.
And they were actually there for something that might count, like not a noise complaint. So just saying. After looking around, deputies learned that Allison was hiding in. Deputies learned. I love how they say that. They're like, what is the square root of pi? Oh, he's in the attic. What does that mean? Anyways, after looking around, deputies learned that Allison was hiding in the attic. Deputies told Allison to come down. It's really confusing that the dude has a last name that's like a chick.
I know.
So
I wasn't going to say
I'm
anything about
envisioning
it.
a chick this whole time because dude has a last name that. Okay, anyway.
My aim is true.
Anyway,
What?
I got that.
Oh, cool.
Allison. Deputies told him to come down, and he eventually did 30 minutes later, extremely dehydrated. Now, I wonder how long he was up there before they found him. Because it doesn't say. Because 30 minutes wouldn't be enough to dehydrate you, so it would have had to have been quite a time.
And they must have taken some time to look around the
Yeah.
place. So let's
And
estimate
did they
about
have to do
an
the whole
hour.
thing where they put their back against the wall and they open the door with the gun and they point it every which
Just
way
like
and
they do in the
clear!
movies, which they don't really do.
Yeah, and then they open all the closets and all the things and like
Which
clear!
they don't do in the
You know,
movie, which
they
they-
don't do that in the real world.
I don't know. I doubt they
They're
do.
probably like, hey, look, a cookie, crunch, crunch. Oh, burp, 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 burp. Oh, hi, puppy dog, how you doing? Derp, 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 derp. Hey, I wonder if he has any hot dogs. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. The guy decided to try and hide in the attic during a Florida summer. So, I don't know if you know this, but it gets a little bit humid in Florida.
Yeah,
in
it
the
does.
summer.
And really
Yeah.
hot. This is not
Yeah.
a fun time of year to live in Florida.
It depends on where in Florida. It's not a fun time
sure.
of year to live here. My God, it's what is it right now? It is 80 degrees.
And it's
at,
1 in the morning.
And it's 1 in the morning.
Well, we're pre-recording the show. We'll just go ahead and say it.
We're
'cause
pre-recording the show. We don't have a choice. This guy decides to try and hide in the attic during the Florida summer. If you're a criminal in Flagler County, there's nowhere to hide from Flagler County Sheriff's Office, said the Sheriff's Daily. I hope he enjoyed his attic sauna, but now he's in the Green Roof Inn. Oh, I love that. Green Roof Inn. I commend our deputies for talking him out of a hot attic peacefully before he hurt himself in the heat. So
They handled it 100%
that's a
correctly.
heck of a photo, though. I mean,
He's a handsome guy.
yeah, he looked like he was having a good time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Got him out of the attic.
He must have been on that controlled substance they mentioned.
Whatever it was, he looks like he was enjoying his controlled substance. Yeah.
Kind of outsmarted you, a little chum.
A little chum.
All
All
right,
right.
there
We
go.
got that all. Okay, this one, I didn't download the video for this one because the pictures pretty much tell the story.
Yeah. A Florida man, who
else?
was taken to jail after he allegedly burglarized a mini... Allegedly, it's on video. Anyway,
Yeah.
you got to say it.
gotta say
Allegedly
it.
burglarized
Allegedly.
a mini golf course while wearing only underwear.
Why
The Lee
though?
County
Why?
Sheriff's... I don't know. There he is, kept in underwear himself.
Well, but he began with clothing on. He was fully dressed when he showed up. So at some point, he's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna take my
This
pants
looks
off."
like a job for Captain Underpants.
Underpants!
Anyway. On September 13th, shortly after 4:30 a.m.,
Yay, 4:30.
deputies responded to the mini golf course because the company's alarm had activated. At the scene, deputies heard loud banging noises and a man talking. They soon came across 38-year-old Francisco Fortin Mayorga,
Oh, he purdy.
who was wearing nothing but underwear. Oh boy, he
he
looks
purdy.
like a Francisco Fortin
He
Mayorga,
looks like
doesn't
a
he?
potato.
Yeah. He looks like a Dick Tracy criminal, but anyway.
Yeah, he does. With, like the no neck thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was wearing nothing but underwear, according to an arrest report. He appeared aggressive, you think,
I'm
and
not
in an
wearing
altered
any
mental
pants.
state, you think, and was sweating. He was in Florida in the summer. Of course, it was sweating.
At least he wasn't in the attic.
There you go. On the property, deputies observed several broken decorations, a broken door window, a door that had been forced open, along with a broken fire extinguisher.
Darn those fire extinguishers.
2 other fire extinguishers appeared to be missing as they were not located inside their proper containers, deputies said. Deputies reviewed video surveillance which showed Mayorga arriving at the property and maliciously ripping down signs, breaking a window and gate, ripping down a motion detector, causing approximately $490 in damages.
Yeah, they got off cheap.
The security footage initially showed Mayorga wearing clothes, but at some point, this is a... Yeah, wait, all right. He stripped down to only his underwear. He was arrested and taken... Oh, yeah, baby, here
Here
comes.
we go. Here it goes.
Here we go. Into Lee County Jail, multiple charges, including burglary and criminal mischief!
Our favorite charge. Seriously though, and it looks like he's wearing a towel.
I don't know.
But
He's
yeah, went all
he's
the
a
way
nut
down,
job.
all the way down to the underwears.
Be a peaceful nut job next time.
Yeah, and the videos. The
Well,
videos
just like me, be a
hilarious.
peaceful nut job.
Be a peaceful nut job. If
Yeah.
you're going to be a nut job, be a peaceful nut job. Let's not be an insane, non-peaceful nut job. Like, well, this guy has a heck of a mugshot as well. Oh
Well, like
my.
a smug shot, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a new thing, a smug shot. I think Trump started it.
Yeah, he did. Oh my God, that was the
All
greatest
right,
one.
so
I've
here's
ever.
your smug shot for tonight. A Florida man, who else,
Oh,
has been arrested after he was caught keeping alligators and several freshwater slider turtles on his Marion County property, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, which henceforth shall be called the FWC. Robert Miller, because that's not a common name, was taken into custody on charges of illegal killing, possessing or capture of alligators, and unlawful taking of slider turtles. I don't know what a slider turtle is, but I looked it up, and apparently they're an invasive species, so maybe he thought he was doing them a favor. I don't know.
maybe.
In August, wildlife officers arrived at Miller's home after receiving a tip about him possibly having 2 alligators in his backyard swimming pool. Well, apparently he actually did. That is a smug shot. You got to hand it to him. When the 2 FWC officers questioned him about it, he initially denied having alligators on his property. What, me? Alligator? I will got no alligators. Okay, you actually have 2 in my swimming pool.
Yes.
Yeah. I do. They're there. They're actually little itty bitty guys. Look at those guys. They're little tiny guys. They only take up half that pickup truck. Yeah. I love how they use duct tape. Why do they bind their eyes? Okay, well, anyways, gators. Miller said the gators had been in the pool for about 3 months. He explained that his ex-girlfriend's friend placed the gators in the pool. Hi. I'm Marcy. I'm Stacy's friend, and I'm just gonna put some gators in your pool, okay? All right, thanks. Anyways, I'm placing gators in your pool. That's a thing now. He claimed he tried contacting the FWC on multiple occasions to have them removed, but the FWC said they could not provide any evidence in his call log. I think they mean in their call log, because he doesn't have a call log. I would assume. Maybe he has a call log. I mean, he has alligators in his swimming pool, so maybe he has a call log. He could not provide any evidence in, I'm going to say, their call log to show he had attempted to reach out to authorities. Okay, I guess his call log would be his cell phone. You got it. All right. Busted. He's busted. Here's the 2 alligators, which for some reason are sideways, but there they are. While investigating the property, FWC officers also found, oh no, an alligator that had been recently killed and multiple freshwater slider turtles in a kiddie pool in the front yard.
Nothing screams redneck like a kiddie pool in the front yard.
But why? Why with the turtles? Miller admitted to killing the alligator with a pickaxe.
Stoink, stoink, stoink.
Due to, quote, the dog, end quote, and, quote, 20 cats in the yard that love going down by the lake. According to the report, Miller reportedly took the turtles from the lake behind his house. Okay, I kind of get the dead one if it was like eating cats and dogs.
Okay, sure.
They're eating
sure.
the cats. They're eating the
dogs.
Cats. Cats.
I'm already sick of that. It's funny as heck, though.
It's funny. So anyway,
I mean, I'm actually trying to do something. I was actually trying to work the other day, and from the kitchen I hear they're eating the cats. They're eating the cats. They're eating the cats.
Eating the dogs.
Wiki, eating the cats. All right. Enough already.
There's so many good memes out there. That's so good. All right, Miller admitting to killing the alligator pickaxe. Okay, here are the turtles. Also look like they're in the back of the truck. He was placed under arrest and booked into the Marion County Jail. He was released the next day. So ready to kill again. The alligators were removed from the pool by a nuisance alligator trapper, and the turtles, well, they just tossed them right back into the pond.
So a nuisance alligator trapper. I didn't even think about that in my big wide life until today.
They are all over Florida. They have to be.
Yeah.
Because as they encroach more on the alligator's habitat, the alligators are like, dude, I still gotta eat, and that chihuahua looks kind of bony, but I'll take it in a pinch. Yeah, that's
true.
the thing.
That makes sense.
That's the thing.
That makes sense.
Eating the cats. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, this one is all you.
All me. A Florida man who else has been accused of making threats while attempting to operate.
Hop. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not been drinking alcohol in this household.
I'm sober.
It's
right
just,
now.
1:24 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's
a.m. in the morning. That's how.
That's something she catches other people on. I was just about to joke with her about it.
1:24 in the morning.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, when you censor yourself. Yeah.
I had a nap earlier, which is why I'm so energetic right now.
I didn't have a nap, but
somebody
okay.
Kill me now. A man has been accused of making threats while attempting to operate heavy machinery at a scrapyard. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies stated that they responded to a call about a verbal dispute and threats involving a drunk man. Upon arrival, deputies reported finding John Kastner, 62, behind the controls of an excavator.
So were the keys just like in it? I mean,
Must have been, or maybe they're just button operated or something.
I
don't
kind of want to do this. I just want to go like be an excavator operator.
Look, we're still paying on the damage Max did with that compactor, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want us
Why
operating
were
every
we
machine.
on the hook for that? Nothing to do with it.
Because we're supposed to be taking care of him and making sure he doesn't get into malicious mischief.
Melissers.
Yay. Anyway, the report states that observations indicated he was impaired and unable to operate the machinery safely.
You
As a
think?
result, Kastner was accused of driving under the influence, and they're helpful enough to tell us DUI because
that's what that means.
that's what that means. In
Yep.
case, for the people in the back, for the people in the short
In
bus.
case you didn't know, that's what DUI means. Driving under the influence. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have another smug shot.
He doesn't look quite so smug. He just looks stoned.
He looks like he got punched in the face, though.
Yeah.
He looks like
He deserves to get punched in the face, though.
Yeah,
Read
he
this
looks like
article.
he did
This is
not have a
horrible.
good day. Okay. A Lake Worth Beach man is in jail after investigators say he fired shots at a group of sanitation employees. It happened Tuesday afternoon on South Lakeside Drive, blah, 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 where investigators with Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office responded to a shooting. Bang, bang. Court records show the victims, all employees with the City of Lake Worth Beach Sanitation Department, reported a man on a bicycle, pedal, 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 started shooting at them.
Pedal, pedal, pedal.
Bang.
Bang. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Bang.
A lot different than chitty chitty, that's for sure.
That's true.
So, like literally pedaling on a bicycle and shooting. Okay. According to court records, the suspect was, Oleg
Arshinov.
Oleg Arshinov. What is that? German? No, that's got to be.
Arshinov sounds Russian. Oleg sounds like Middle Eastern, Middle European, like
middle something.
Slavic or.
So, what kind of accent do you think this guy has? I don't know. Either.
How y'all doing? Probably. Just saying.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Court records show the employees told investigators that Arshinov originally approached them and told the workers they needed to move their trucks. The workers explained they would move when they were done collecting the trash bins, but Arshinov began threatening them. Don't threaten the trash collectors. We love our trash collectors. We wish we had trash collectors.
I have to burn, and there's a burn ban
there's a
in
burn
our
ban.
county,
It is piling
so I have
up.
to figure something
And we don't
out.
have a car right now, so we can't even take it to the dump or anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to counterculturewise.com and donate to the Please Fix Our Car Fund. Please.
Formerly the beer fund.
We can't afford beer because we need a new engine, apparently. Investigators said the victim said Arshinov got in his face and the victim hit him after telling him several times to get out of his face. Okay.
I would clonk him with one of the trash cans myself.
Probably shouldn't have hit the guy, though, because we already know he's unstable. The employee contacted his supervisor, who arrived to help in the event that Arshinov came back, which, of course, he did. Court records show while the victim was speaking with the supervisor, he heard gunshots coming from down the street. The victim looked up and noticed Arshinov riding his bicycle, pedal, 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 toward him and the other two workers. Investigators report Arshinov shot a handgun at two of the employees who jumped in a bush to ride. I think they meant hide.
They meant hide.
Hey, guys, if you need an editor, let me know. They say Arshinov...
We don't need an editor.
I guess
We're
not.
Florida.
They jumped in a bush to ride. Yeehaw! Giddy up, bush. They say Arshinov then shot at the third employee, who was able to drive away. Imagine being shot at and being like, I'm out of here, vroom, and just like leaving two people in the bushes. I could not be that person. Okay, what I would have done is driven the car between the bullet flinging guy and the people in the bushes and said, hey, get in the car.
Get in the car, loser. We're going
the sad thing is this guy's the one who survives the zombie apocalypse because he has self-preservation mode engaged. The employees told investigators when they came out from behind the bushes, one of the trucks had been moved. So this is one of the reasons we're telling this story, because this is friggin' hilarious. The employees who were reportedly able to get video of the suspect to show law enforcement, thank goodness. According to court reports, deputies recognized Arshinov, of course, from previous encounters. They surrounded his home. The probable cause statement shows Arshinov refused to cooperate with law enforcement and demanded one deputy lower his gun. When the deputy didn't lower his rifle, Arshinov stated,
Put it down now before I go and get my thing.
I doubt that's his interview.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not. I would go more.
That's not even a real accent.
I would
Only
go
Beto
more,
O'Rourke used that one. I don't know why I was doing
He's
that.
still using it. I'd go more Russian on it. Moments later, investigators say Arshinov raised his right hand and pointed his finger directly at one of the deputies and stated,
I am going to take you out first.
it's a little Schwarzenegger-y. That's
I don't know how to do a Russian
Austrian.
accent. It took me forever to learn a French accent.
It's like a cross between angry German and sexy French.
I'm going to take you out first.
No, that's still Beto.
Oh, well.
It's like, I am going to take you out
first.
That's close, yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, they were able to get Arshinov to come outside where they arrested him. Court records also show Arshinov took to social media in the moments before and after the shooting, where he posted several videos. Smart. You always want to document when you're being a dum-dum. In one video, he's heard saying,
They will learn their lesson. Glock 19 spoke a lot louder. Now they're running like cockroaches.
pretty sure that's not his accent. In another video, he's heard saying,
I even drove a dump truck for the first time because they left it behind. I couldn't pass up an opportunity.
okay, you know what? I'm with him on that one. If I
Yeah,
had a
okay,
chance to
yeah,
drive
that's-
a dump
that's
truck,
true.
I would be. I would want to
I mean,
drive
ever since
it.
I had my little Tonka tow truck,
Right.
or Tonka dump truck, I wanted to.
Seriously, when they were out here dumping the gravel in our driveway,
Mm-hmm.
and the dump truck did the thing where the back end goes all the way up, and he started
Mm-hmm.
scooching forward with the beep beep, I'm out there going, you just fulfilled a young kid's fantasy. That was the most awesome thing I've ever seen. It was right here in my front yard. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so if I had a chance to drive a dump truck, I would totally have done it. According to court records, Arshinov went online again after noticing the PBCSO helicopter over his house, and he said,
I've got bigger guns. I'll take down that helicopter if I want to.
pretty sure that's not the one either. Okay. He can also be heard threatening law enforcement, saying,
Wait until I come out. Some of you are going to be dead.
yeah, I don't think that fits in
Oh,
either.
come
Yeah, come
on.
on. You still need to go a little bit more Russian-y. Wubuff spoke to several neighbors on and off camera who said they were shocked that this could happen, and that anyone would do such a thing. Random violence is just not acceptable. Okay.
Every politician is saying that now.
That is true, yeah. It has no place. Block has owned his home on South Lakeside Drive since the 1950s and said that the area has changed, you think, over the years. We didn't lock our doors. We were out riding our bicycles any time of the day and night. It was a different place, he said. Lakeworth was a different place in the 50s.
I'll bet he didn't talk like that.
You think? Listen to him. Block says he's relieved no one was injured and is thankful he wasn't out walking his dog when the shooting happened. And you could have just chucked your chihuahua and called it a day. Ajanov appeared in Palm Beach County Court Wednesday morning, where he's charged with 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, 7 counts of aggravated assault on an officer, and 1 count of resisting an officer and carjacking. But he didn't carjack; he dump truck jacked. That's different. I want a mischievous dump trucking charge. I'm just not impressed with the charges. The judge encouraged Arshinov, I want to call him Asimov for some reason, not to speak with anyone outside of his attorney. Wouldn't that be like every human being on the planet? Because there would be no one inside of his attorney unless the attorney was pregnant.
You knew what you meant.
I don't like what
Come on now.
After he signed an invocation of rights. No matter how kind the deputies may be back there, cellmates, anybody else, your phone calls will likely be monitored as well, the judge said. Don't talk to anybody about the matter except your attorneys. Ajanov agreed, but less than a minute later he asked,
May I ask something else?
The judge quickly advised him not to and said, I don't think it's a good idea to say anything at this time, sir. Nothing will benefit you at this moment.
You've already said too much, in other words.
Shut up.
So did he shut up?
it would appear.
Okay, well, nobody was hurt. Everybody's okay. Dude's in custody, so...
Needs to be.
But hey, he got to drive a dump truck, so it wasn't a total loss. I mean...
He got to fire a Glock G19, too.
That's true. That's true.
I own one, and I know they're
that is
great
your
fun.
actual gun. That's right.
That's my actual gun.
Yeah. So, but have you ever fired it while pedaling a bicycle?
That wasn't part of the training.
Yeah, I that's a particular skill that few...
Because I got to tell you, they pack a punch, and you need to... I think you'd have to lean pretty far forward onto the handlebars to like not completely lose control when you fire the gun, unless you're just randomly firing it like a moron, which is probably closer to what he was doing.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what he was doing.
Shooting birds and the moon and all that crap.
Speaking of morons,
why?
A
former employee at a Florida gas station, thank God former, has admitted to secretly recording hundreds of photos and videos up women's skirts. Hundreds of photos and videos up women's skirts, according to the Polk Sheriff Annie's office.
You know,
Polk Sheriff Annie.
I'm not afraid of guys like that.
Baby got you right here.
Because all he would see is where my thighs meet. There's nothing he would see. Just saying.
Anyway, Polk County deputies initially responded to a circle jerk. I'm sorry, circle case. That's what I used to call it when I worked there.
That's what we all call it.
I worked as a clerk at the Circle Jerk. I wrote a song about it. On Sandmine Road around 10 a.m. on August 31, after a woman reported feeling someone poke her on her lower back while using a self-checkout. You weren't the only one checking you out, baby. She looked...
Her?
Poke her. P-O-K-E, like poke.
Poke. All right.
On her lower back while using a self-checkout. She looked behind her and said a man was walking away. She told deputies that she believed the man had attempted to take a photo of her, according to the arrest report. Detectives determined using surveillance video from inside the store that the man, later identified as Christopher Kilpatrick, had exposed himself and poked the woman. Video allegedly... I'm glad I'm reading this. I'm glad I'm the one reading this. Video allegedly showed him exhibiting similar behavior to another woman earlier.
So he just pulled out his poker and poked her with it? Ew!
Further security video from the same day allegedly showed Kilpatrick recording photos and videos looking up the skirts of two unsuspecting women, deputies said. Kilpatrick was interviewed and his cell phone was seized.
I hope so. I hope the other thing was seized too.
Polk County Sheriff's Office said Kilpatrick confessed to his actions and admitted that he has done this to between 300 to 400 women, including juveniles.
Why would you tell us that? Why would you tell us that?
Want to come clean.
He's like,
for a change.
Not only have I been, slapping out my dongle and smacking women with it, but, I've gone for little girls, too.
He was arrested and booked into jail on several charges, including exposure of sexual organs, and simple battery.
Wait, you could get arrested for that? Because he could have just been in a pride parade.
I don't know if that's the same thing.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, anyway.
You walk around with your schlong hanging out with
the
children.
Sheriff's Office is asking anyone they believe to be victimized by Kilpatrick to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit at 863-298-6200.
So what we're saying is if you got poked, call Polk.
And they'll find themselves in the poke. Okay.
They'll go to the pokey.
There we go.
If you got poked in Polk, call. They'll put him in the pokey.
This is a stinky story. This is a very stinky story you're about to tell.
I don't want to tell this story. Actually, it's kind of the opposite of stinky, though, if you really think about it. I mean, really, if you think about it, it's kind of the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, let's face it. These guys. All right.
They look like brothers.
They do. I mean, you have to go.
I think the matching orange suits help, but
yeah, it's like one of those you have to spot the differences.
Yeah.
And you look back and forth. I mean, one has a pointier chin and more of a neck, but other than that, they look like okay. So, Two Florida men busted in Naples after stealing 400 sticks of deodorant.
That is one cartload of Mitchum. I'm telling you, that is a bunch of right guard right over there.
Who's written this? Because it's a little bit funny. Bio39.com. Okay, it must be a radio station. I know it's hot here in Florida, but 400 sticks of deodorant to stay fresh might be a tad overkill. But what got these two men busted in Naples was not their need to control perspiration, but the fact that they stole the deodorant and a lot of other personal care items as well. So this is a thing, apparently. Organized crime of deodorant. Detectives at the Collier County Sheriff's Office say Carlos M. Garcia, Ajete, 40, and Nivaldo J. Garcia Vento, 41. So are they related? I can't tell. Are believed to be members of an organized retail theft ring that has been stealing from major retailers, including Publix, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and Winn-Dixie across Florida. So we see these smash and grabs all over the place, and here they go. CCSO received information that Garcia Hajete and Garcia Vento, okay, the double G's, were suspects in a recent large-scale retail theft spree in Martin County and may be traveling to Collier County to commit similar thefts. Oh, so they knew they were coming. Okay. That's exactly what they were doing until they got busted in Naples. At about 2 p.m. Wednesday, deputies located a vehicle matching the description of the brown GMC SUV that the pair was believed to be traveling in, leaving the Walmart. The driver, later identified as Garcia Vento, ran a red light as the SUV exited onto Collier Boulevard. Deputies conducted a traffic stop. You gotta come to a complete stop in Naples before turning on red, or they'll get you. I've been pulled over by a Florida police officer in the middle of, well, it wasn't a hurricane, but it was pretty close.
Bad windstorm.
Yeah, and it was because I didn't get into the right-hand lane when people were trying to pass me because I didn't know that was a thing.
Right.
And he was really nice, and I was in a rental car with a couple of dogs in the back, and I was,
taxiing
the Woggies to another state, and he just let me know and sent me on my way, and he was really nice about it. But I mean, he was getting blown to bits. Yeah, so they're very dedicated to pulling your butt over if you do something wrong.
I love cops. I do. I think they're.
You can. I mean, they're not all like that jerk in the
No,
last
they're
video.
not all like.
Yeah, the pair told deputies they were coming from Well, I mean, if you're compliant, if you're nice, if you're honest, if you're not drunk, cops generally are decent to you. Sometimes they're power-hungry nut jobs, but for the most part, they're going to, when they realize you're not really doing anything wrong and you're not going to be a threat to them or anything, and you're sorry if you did something wrong, or even if you didn't do something wrong, you're just like, hey, what's up? The pair told deputies they were coming from Fort Myers, Florida, a few miles to the north. Suspecting that was a lie and that the pair had just committed retail theft at a Walmart, deputies reviewed the store's security video footage. Do these people not know that they're on video when they do this?
This is 2024. You are on camera
wherever you go.
We're probably being looked at right now.
Oh yeah, and probably Starlink has something in our light bulb somewhere.
I don't think that Starlink would do it.
You don't think so?
No.
That would be the only connectivity they have out here, so that'd be their only choice.
That's true.
Yeah, so maybe we're safe because we're out in the boonies far enough. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm sure there's like a laser pointed at us somewhere. Anyways, the video shows these guys in the personal care section of the store grabbing Gillette razor pack, which he concealed on his person, and then leaving the store without paying. Those razor packs are like $40 a piece.
Yeah.
The two men were taken into custody.
To electric. I don't know.
$40. Good lord.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For
That's why I use just double-edged blades if I use a regular razor, or just cheap razor blades or my electric razor. I don't like buying.
Like our toothbrush
cartridges.
Heads are like $30 a shot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
You can get toothbrushes for free.
The dentist, they'll hand you one every 3 months.
They'll hand you one, yeah. While conducting an inventory of the vehicle, deputies found 6 large trash bags filled with suspected, because, that's where I keep my deodorant, is in a trash bag. Suspected stolen merchandise. The merchandise included 400 sticks of deodorant, razor blades, razors, fishing gear, cosmetics, and other items. and was valued at nearly $5,000. Deputies also found a device commonly used to defeat magnetic security devices. You know, a magnet. When asked if they had receipts of the items, well, of course they did not, because nobody keeps their receipts. Am I right? Am I right?
Right.
They didn't just steal 400 sticks of deodorant. Check out this table full of items. And this one says, lol, the one little bag of Doritos, but why would you take Arizona iced tea? Those things are like 99 cents a piece. Yeah, there's a tiny little bag of Doritos. That's hilarious. The double G's are charged with multiple felonies, including grand theft. But now this writer has questions. What got the two busted in Naples was the stolen pack of razors. Just one. So how many stops did they make to collect this much stuff? I mean, we're talking 400 sticks of deodorant. And why didn't you stop somewhere to drop some of this stuff off? You could have kept it to a misdemeanor rather than a felony. Not so smart. I like this writer. Shout out to whoever was at the Collier Sheriff's that took the time to line these all up for the photo op.
It is a well-composed, as a photographer, I got to say, well-composed photo
Well,
of
and
deodorant.
considering that they were in a trash bag, this person was OCD. I mean, and what's sad, it's totally what I would have done.
Hey, there's some secret in there for you. And
There
some
we
right
go.
guard for me.
We're yeah, okay.
All right.
Writer asked, I get it. The two guys that were busted in Naples go to jail, but what do they do with all this deodorant and razors and makeup? Evidence lockup? Nah, my first thought is that those Collier deputies are going to be hella fresh and clean in this hot Florida weather. But in reality, if they can't locate which stores it came from, this will probably be donated to a shelter, so good will come of it.
All right.
All righty. We've got another smug shot. This guy. Let's take Florida.
He's they make it
idiocy
very, all persons are innocent until proven
up
guilty.
a notch. Okay. All persons are innocent until proven guilty. I wish he didn't have a play button on his nose, because that's a smug shot. All right, off you go, Jim.
The Aviles Parish Courthouse was evacuated on September 12th after a man from Mulberry, Florida, entered the building with fake plastic guns, according to the Ioles Parish Sheriff's Office. That was not
everybody
easy
knows
to say.
Fake plastic guns are going to... Oh, there he goes. He doesn't have the play button on his nose anymore. He just looks like... What? What?
He looks just a little irritated.
Yeah.
Like
They were plastic.
They took his beer away from him or
Yeah.
something. APSO, which is much easier to say than
APSO.
Avoyeles Parish Courthouse.
Yeah.
I'm probably not
APSO.
saying that right. Anyway, APSO said they received word of this around 12:07 p.m. Courthouse staff said the man, identified as James Edward Baker.
They always have three names.
Yep. Edgar Allan Poe. Yep. Came in with fake guns, was carrying packages blah blah. Came in with fake guns, was carrying packages and bags. Folks, it's 1:48 in the morning. Give me
Now
a break.
stop telling them what time
And
it is. Do
At
you know
the
where your
time,
children
the
are?
time will be.
Do you know where your children are?
And was wearing items to cover his face.
I love that. So, like stickers? What do you...
Probably a bandana or some stupid thing, or
Items, but
maybe
it's
one
plural.
of those N95 masks that were all
But
the
it's
rage 2
plural.
years ago.
Items. It's plural. So I'm thinking bandages, stickers, cellophane,
Scotch tape. Anyway,
gum wrappers.
APSO, the Marksville City Police, the Tunica Biloxi Tribal Police, and other law enforcement agencies responded to the scene. The courthouse and the surrounding area were closed for public safety. APSO said Baker's packages and bags and the entire courthouse were searched using a canine trained to find explosives.
I feel sorry for the
None of which
canines
were-
that are trained to find explosives, because they're like, sniff, sniff, sniff. Here it is, boom!
I don't think that's how it works. That I don't know. None of which are located. I like that. Sniff, sniff, boom. Sniff, sniff, boom. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Ooka, ooka.
At
Wait, okay,
1:44.
so none of which were located?
None of which,
Of which none were What the heck does that even mean?
It means there were no explosives located.
Of which none were located. They're trying to use proper grammar, but it's like Kamala soup with the
Oh,
side
boy.
of word salad.
At 1:44 p.m., the area was reopened to the public.
Yay!
APSO said they learned that Baker allegedly went there to make a statement about his dissatisfaction.
Why is his entire face clean shaven except for his... Is that a neck tattoo or is that his beard?
I think that's his beard. Poor
But it
guy.
almost looks like letters.
I know.
I wonder if dude has
Wait
a neck tattoo.
minute. I think they are letters. I think that's neck tattoo.
Okay.
APSO said they learned that Baker, this is important, allegedly went there to make a statement about his dissatisfaction with civil proceedings in a child custody matter.
This guy has kids.
Yeah, he was later arrested by APSO for the offenses of terrorizing and simple assault and booked into the APSO DC-1 jail facility. No bond has been set at this time. This remains an active, ongoing investigation.
Way to get your kids back, dum-dum.
Yeah. I'm not happy with how you kept my kids away from me. Well, we're not happy about having to take your kids away from you because you're a schmo.
Well,
okay.
and I mean, dude, if you're that upset, why would you bring fake guns?
I mean, if you're gonna bring guns, you're gonna be just as arrested.
You're gonna be every bit as arrested as as if they were real guns. What a moron!
Yeah,
well, I guess he's never gonna see his kids again.
Probably
hey,
not.
let's again cleanse the palate and talk about something
positive
that a Florida guy might have done. Florida man removes 20 Burmese pythons from Everglades and wins a contest. He won $10,000.
Look at the length of that guy.
Yeah, these things are huge, and they're an invasive species that were introduced by idiots. Okay. And they just them and iguanas have just completely taken over the Everglades, and they destroy the environment. So there are several heroes out there hunting these things, but good Lord. How long do you think it takes something to get that big? I mean, these things can eat your dog.
Yep.
The annual Florida Python Challenge has slithered to its conclusion with professionally categorized python purger Ronald Kiger crowned its victor after he removed 20 Burmese pythons from the Florida Everglades. Now, I follow the python hunter on Insta. I wonder if he was part of this. I'll have to look it up. Kiger received a $10,000 grand prize. Representatives from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission announced his win Tuesday morning in a meeting in Duck Key, where there's probably no ducks because these things are eating them. They're eating the ducks. Kiger, last year's runner-up, tipped the scales this year, reaching first place by only one snake. His win follows a 10-day hunt in which over 800 people from 33 states and Canada, competed for about $25,000 in prize money. The winnings were divided among competitors in the three categories: novice, professional, and military. I didn't know there were military python hunters. The commission revealed 195 Burmese pythons were removed from the wild.
They can grow to about 16 feet.
Yeah, these things are
or more.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah.
Donna Khalil, a contractor with the South Florida Water Management District, rattled the competition, almost tying Kiger. In the end, though, she won a $2,500 prize for catching 19 pythons in the professional category. I want to know what a professional python does.
Well, they go to work every day.
Okay.
You know, you see them
and how do you
slither
know,
along with a briefcase.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, how do you know whether it's a professional python or an amateur python?
Because they carry briefcases and neckties.
What did they carry the briefcases with?
Rats.
Oh, they have rats running alongside of them that they're going to eat?
Yeah.
So
no, there's rats inside. They're just it kind of just rolls on. It's a magnetic thing. I don't know.
I don't know. It's one damn
this up.
No, 1:53 in the morning. It can be very dangerous if you don't know.
Stop telling them the time. Let's do this. We're almost done.
Almost there. We're almost there. It can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. She said a big snake can definitely kill you. If it gets around your neck, it could definitely strangle you out. Yeah, the python hunter, he's getting bit all the time. It's always trying to, these things are huge. The longest snake caught in the entire competition, regardless of category, measured in at 9 feet 11 inches. Yee.
That's a long
The competition is strategically held in mid-August each year, which is hatching season. A female python can lay 50 to 100 eggs at a time, so hunters are tasked with humanely killing them and turning in their carcasses to 3 check stations in South Florida. How do you humanely kill a snake? But for Khalil, it's not just about the contest. She has been hunting Burmese pythons since 2013, and she goes out almost every night, hoping to add another snake to her catch record. Her catch count is 993 snakes. She hopes to reach 1,000 by next week. That is an interesting goal to have.
It is.
When I realized that there was a problem with pythons out there in the Everglades, it's like, I can do something about that, and I started looking for them. She said, I do love it. I found a purpose in life. God bless you, Khalil. That's awesome. The hunt is designed to bring awareness to the invasive threat of the Burmese python species in Florida. They are found primarily in and around the Everglades ecosystem in South Florida, where they prey on birds, mammals, and other reptiles. Burmese pythons can spread diseases among native animals, affect native snakes, and have high mercury levels that are dangerous for human consumption. So we can't even eat the bloody things. Buttheads. Every invasive python that is removed makes a difference for Florida's environment and its native wildlife. Alligator Ron Burgon, a member of the South Florida Water Management District Governing Board, said in a news release. According to the Wildlife Agency, about 22,000 pythons have been removed from the state since 2000.
Now, their native land is Asia.
Yeah.
So how they made it all the way to Florida,
Collectors,
I don't know.
and when they say 50 to 100 eggs, you just get one loose that's pregnant. She lays the eggs and off they go, and then somebody else flushes their, baby python or whatever down the toilet, or one gets out or whatever, and off they go.
Okay.
I mean, you think about possums, they're ubiquitous, and they're not native here.
No, not at all.
They were brought here.
Fire ants, too.
I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, so let's wrap this up.
I think we need to wrap this up with a nice dose of Wonderfuller. Here on Counterculture Wise, we may rant, we may rave, but most of all, we go against the current culture because we believe, to the core of our beings, that humans are good and the world is an amazing and beautiful place. At the beginning of our show, we give you news of the weird and wonderful, but that is just the tip of the magnificent iceberg that is our world. We now present news of the Wonderfuller. We like to end on a high note, and Jim tries to find articles that will make me cry. So it's not my turn to read those, so apparently you failed and you have to read this article. Blah!
Oh, I don't consider it a failure. I consider it an opportunity for improvement.
And we're already
corporate world,
on to Halloween, so...
For the past few weeks, Bill Piles and his family have been creating playful skeleton displays on their front lawn in Oxford, Ohio. People honk and cheer as they drive by. While Piles knew locals were tickled by his family's towering skeleton exhibit, he did not know that it was serving as a daily bright spot for a cancer patient until he received a letter in the mail on September 10th.
We need to send more letters to each other.
We do. It's a lost art form.
And it always, every time you read about somebody being cheered up, it's a card or letter that they got in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to do more of that.
Piles found an envelope in his mailbox addressed to the family bone and figured it might be a nasty letter, as sometimes people criticized his display, which often features 2 12-foot skeletons plus dozens of 5-foot skeletons and animals for being up too far in advance of Halloween. Get a life.
Yeah.
I opened the letter, and it stopped me dead in my tracks in my driveway, said Piles, who started making skeleton displays on his front lawn last September ahead of Halloween and decided to turn it into an annual family tradition. They changed the display twice a week, typically on Wednesdays and either Saturday or Sunday, and they put together elaborate scenes such as skeletons washing a car, skeletons playing cornhole, and skeletons bowling. The displays take several hours to decorate. So there's the cornhole display. That's adorable. It's always been about fun antics, said Piles, noting that his wife, their son, and 2 daughters, ranging in age from 21 to 28, helped decorate the displays and come up with ideas.
I like the car washing one. That's funny.
That is great. The letter was penned by Tammy Wyhe, an Oxford resident who was diagnosed with breast cancer in May. She had been undergoing radiation treatments every day for the past month, and she and her husband drove by the skeleton display each way as they made the 20-mile drive to the cancer center. It always made them smile. I've been driving past your house daily for the past 19 days on my way to radiation treatments. A highlight of my journey has been checking to see who else has joined the Bone family and what they're up to, Waihi wrote in the handwritten letter. Thankfully, Wednesday, September 11th is my final radiation treatment, though I may need to continue to drive by once in a while to see what's new. Thanks for the diversion, Tammy. And there's a photo of the
That's
letter.
sweet that she told them that.
Piles is blown away by the letter. We made a big difference in somebody's life, Piles said, adding that he immediately shared the note with his family, and they were moved by it too. They all agreed. We've got a lot of work to do tonight, Piles said. The Piles family decided they would do a display to celebrate the end of Waihi's radiation treatments. They started about 3:30 p.m. on the day they received the letter, and they worked until 9 p.m., making colorful signs with encouraging messages like, "You've got this, way to go, Tammy, and never give up."
Aww.
On her way home from her final treatment on September 11th, Waihi noticed the personalized display. It moved her to tears. It was very touching that somebody would go out of their way to make this special and congratulate me on finishing, said Waihi. Kindness matters, and this cheerleader skeleton, so cute. That was just great. Waihi was the 5th person in 2 generations to have breast cancer in her family, so it was difficult to keep her spirits up as she and her husband drove to radiation each day. The skeleton display offered a bit of levity. It was just fun, she said. It was a way to broaden my perspective on what was happening. It was good to relate and connect with people I didn't know. Waihi and her husband moved to Ohio from Nebraska last May and never saw the Piles family's 2023 skeleton displays. Given how much joy the skeletons brought her on her daily commute, she decided to write a thank you note. The story was first reported by Fox 19. There's the construction workers. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I think people do good things and they don't always know it. They're not always recognized, she said. It meant a lot. Piles said the goal of the displays was to uplift people in the community and believes they have served their purpose.
They're really creative.
Skeletons at a bar.
At a bar,
oh my
that's
gosh.
funny. I like the one with the hair.
Yeah. There's not enough good stories. There's not enough humor in the world, he added. He said, adding that he regularly buys costumes and supplies to decorate the display with. Last year, they started off with just a few skeletons, but they have expanded their collection to around 50, including a skeleton dog, horse, cow, and donkey.
Oh my goodness.
My wife is
there's
grabbing
the
them.
dog.
My wife was grabbing them every time we'd go shopping. Piles said people are loving it. They were cracking up. They switch the scene twice a week to keep things interesting. It's got to be a variety. If you drive by the same thing every day, it becomes very mundane, Piles said, adding that the most meaningful display to date was unquestionably the one for Waihi. The family kept last year's displays going from early September to a week after Halloween. This year, given the overwhelmingly positive response, they plan to continue decorating the displays year-round. Take that, Miss. Why don't Halloween? They even have a calendar for the skeletons filled with potential ideas.
That's awesome.
We've got plans for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, St. Patty's Day, Easter, Piles said. If they come down, they're not going to be down for long.
That's awesome.
When asked why skeletons, Piles said the answer is simple. We are all, no matter who you are, a skeleton inside, he said. No matter your race, religion, anything about you. Piles said he hopes that people who delight in his family's displays might do something similar, even in a small way. Try to brighten one person's day and you've done your job, he said.
What a great story. So cute. Well, congratulations to Tammy, was it?
Yes, Tammy.
And I hope that she is done with cancer and cancer's done with you, and that you
pray for your continued health.
Absolutely live a long and healthy life. And ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the show. This has been a fun show.
This has been a very
Lots
fun
of
show.
fun stuff in this show.
Yeah.
Folks, whatever you do this week, have fun. Just go out there and have fun. Say something kind to somebody. Just show somebody that you love them. Do something special that makes them feel special. And, have fun.
Just have fun, darn it. Counterculture-Wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial and medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, "Be a guest on our show."
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week.